श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शतः श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य ऐसे भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gaura, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam. So, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. We are reading Canto 4, Chapter 23, Mahārāja Pṛthu's Going Back to Home, Back Home. Text 5. Kanda, Mula, Prahalhara, Sukha, Parna, Asana, Asaha, Kvachit, Ab, Bakshaha, Katichin, Pakshan, Vayu, Bakshas, Tata, Param, Kandamula, Palaharaha, Kandamula Palaharaha, Kandamula Palaharaha, Sukha Prana Asanaha Kvachit, Suksha Parna Asanaha Kvachit, Suksha Paranaha Asanaha Kvachit, Abbaksha Katichit Pakshan, Abbaktaha Bakshaha Kachit Pakshan, Vayu Bakshat Tata Paraha, Vayu Bakshas Tata Param, Kandamula Prahalahara, Sukha Prana Asana Kachit, Abbaksha Katit Pakshan, Vayu Bakshas Tata Param, Suksha Parna Sanat Kvachit, Abbaksha Katichit Pakshan, Vayu Bakshas Taparaham, Kandamula Palaharam, Suksha Parnat Panakachet Abhaksha Katichit Paksham Vayu Bhakshastata Param Kandamula Palaharaha Suksha Parnat Patakachet Abhaksha Katichit Paksha Vayu Bhakshastata Param Suksha Parna Sanas Kochit Abhaksha Kachit Paksha Vayu Bhaktastata Param Kandamula Palaharaha Suska Parna Sanat Kochit Abhaksha Katichit Paksha Vayu Bhakshastata Param. We'll go word to word meaning. Kandha, trunk. Mula, roots. Pala, fruits. Aharaha, eating. Suksha, dry. Parna, leaves. Asana, eating. Kvachit, sometimes. Abhakshaha, drinking water. Kachit, for several. Pakshan, fortnights. Vayu, the air. Bhakshaha, breathing. Tata paran, thereafter. So the translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. In the tapo-vana, Mahārāja Pṛthu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves. And for some weeks he drank water, only water. Finally he lived simply by breathing air. Do you want to repeat? In the tapo-vana, Mahārāja Pṛthu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruits and dried leaves, and for some weeks he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, yogis are advised to go to the secluded place in the forest and live alone in the sanctified spot there. By Pṛthu Mahāraja's behavior, we can understand that when he went to the forest, he did not eat any cooked food sent from the city or by devotees or disciples. As soon as one takes the oath to live in the forest, he must simply eat roots, tree trunks, fruits, and dried leaves, or whatever nature provides in that way. Pṛthu Mahāraja strictly adopted this principle for living in the forest, and sometimes he ate nothing but dried leaves and drank nothing but a little water. Sometimes he lived on nothing but air. Sometimes he ate some fruits from the trees. In this way, he lived in the forest and underwent severe austerity, especially in regards to eating. In other words, overeating is not at all recommended for one who wants to progress in spiritual life. Sri Rupa Goswami also warns that too much eating and too much endeavor, atyahara prayasascha, are against the principles by which one can advance in spiritual life. It is also notable that according to Vedic injunction, to live in the forest is to live in the mode of complete goodness, whereas in live in the city is to live in the mode of passion, and to live in the brothel or drinking house is to live in the mode of ignorance. However, to live in the temple is to live in Vaikuntha, which is transcendental to all the modes of material nature. This Krishna conscious movement offers on the opportunity to live in the temple of the Lord, which is also good as Vaikuntha. Consequently, Krishna consciousness person does not need to go to the forest and artificially try to imitate Mahārāja Pṛthu or the great sages and munis who used to live in the forest. Srila Rupa Goswami, there, after retiring from his minister seat in the government, went to Vrindavana and lived beneath a tree like Mahārāja Pṛthu. Since then, many people have gone to Vrindavana to imitate Rupa Goswami's behavior. Instead of advancing in spiritual life, many have fallen into material habits and even in Vrindavana have become victims of illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. The Krishna consciousness movement has been introduced in the Western countries, but it is not possible for Western to go to the forest and practice the severe austerity which were ideally practiced by Pṛthu Mahāraja or Rupa Goswami. However, Westerners or anyone else can follow in the footsteps of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura by living in the temple, which is transcendental to residence in the forest, and to accept Krishna Prasadam, nothing else. Follow the regulative principles and chant 16 rounds daily of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In this way, one's spiritual life will never be disturbed. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanjala Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanyam Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Rishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tarurbhesta Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namastubhyam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangolam Garite Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Bhagavanam Paraman Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So in the tapo-vana, Mahāraja sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves, and for some weeks he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. Okay, we are in the concluding chapter of Pṛthu Mahārāja. So we've been reading Srila Pṛthu Mahārāja pastimes since chapter 15, or almost 9 chapters. So I'll just go over the 9 chapters, and then we'll discuss today's sloka. So, first what happened? King Vena was there, and he was very notorious. And then Brahmins took the decision to kill him. So they killed him, and then now with the Vena's body, the 2 arms they chant, and there comes Pṛthu and Archi. So, and then what happened? They were not just like ourselves, like small baby born and then grow up, but when they appeared, they were already adults. And then Suta Madhava on this they glorify it. That's the bird, the glorifiers. So started glorifying Pṛthu Mahārāja, and Pṛthu Mahārāja requested, please don't glorify now because I haven't showed any of these qualities. Let me show these qualities. Don't qualify me. I mean, I'm not qualified now, so not enough now. So then, but they didn't agree. And then with the Brahmana's permission, they started glorifying again. And then after this, we saw how Pṛthu Mahārāja's kingdom, people were, not having enough food, and then they complained Maharaj. And then Maharaj contemplated and realized this because Mother Earth is not providing the enough food grains. So he started chasing the Mother Earth, and then Mother Earth got frightened, and then Mother Earth shows why she's doing all these things because of the civilians are not obeying the rules and regulations. And then Mother Earth gave a solution to milk the Earth planet. And then Pṛthu Mahārāja, we saw how different varieties, milking the Earth planet. And then we saw Pṛthu Mahārāja went on horse sacrifice for 99 horse sacrifice. He couldn't achieve 100. And then, as you know, King Indra was stealing the horse. And then finally, Brahma came and pacified Pṛthu Mahārāja, so you don't have to do the 100. And then saying this, Pṛthu Mahārāja stopped the 100th sacrifice, and then Lord Vishnu appeared with Indra. And then what happened? At that time, Pṛthu Mahārāja requested. He was praying beautiful prayers up there, and then one of the prayer he was saying, "I want association of devotees." Then with that request, Lord sent 4 Kumaras to Pṛthu Mahārāja. Then Pṛthu Mahārāja instructed when he come back after the sacrifice, we saw that citizens welcomed Pṛthu Mahārāja, and then he instructed the citizens about dharma shiksha, how to follow the dharma, and who is Vaishnava and who is Brahman. Then after that, we saw the 4 Kumaras as Pṛthu Mahārāja requested. He got the association of 4 Kumaras, and then Pṛthu Mahārāja, how glorified 4 Kumaras and how he treated. He washed their feet and then asked for the instruction, like Tadvidi Pranipatena, we saw them. So then Pṛthu Mahārāja got the instructions, and then we saw Pṛthu Mahārāja ruled the kingdom for so many years, and then now the time to wind up. So that's what we are looking at now. Pṛthu Mahārāja is going back home. So Pṛthu Mahārāja left the kingdom along with his wife, Archi, to the forest. So it is like a vanaprastha, living in forest. You can see in Srimad Bhagavatam so many instances devotees are left the kingdom and went to forest. Recently, I just spoke about King Vena's father, that's King Anga. Even though his son Vena was notorious, he didn't listen to him and he was not ruling the kingdom properly. Anga just left the kingdom. He left everything and then just went. And then citizens started searching for him to reinstate him, but he was in disguise. Nobody could find him. So that's an example how even though we have the wealth, we should not get attached. That's the austerity. You can see the picture there. It's austerity. We had to look for the austerity. And there is an example of King Bharat Maharaj. He left. He was a king for the whole universe. This Bharata Khanda. Still, in spite of that, he left everything and he got to the forest for the higher purposes. And then we even saw Kadama Muni. Kadama Muni, he had a Supreme Personality Godhead, Kapila Muni, in his home. And still he left. He could have taken shelter. No, my son is the Lord and he can serve him. No, he left the home because his mood was different. His mood was not a Vatsalya mood. So he left the whole home, everything, and then he went to forest. Even we saw Dhritarashtra with the force, with Vidura, he left the kingdom. And then we saw even Dhruva Maharaj. So he did the severe austerity like Pṛthu Maharaj. What he did is first month he ate only fruits and berries. For 3 days, once in 3 days, not for 3 days. Once in 3 days he used to eat fruits and berries, and once in 6 days, from the second month, he was eating only grass and leaves, dry grass and leaves. And if somebody feed us, even the fresh vegetables, we don't feel like eating it. I remember when I first ate this salad in France. That's way before. So we had a team of our members from work. We went to France, and then they were serving the salad, and they were this manager was saying to me, "What they're feeding me like the animal feed or a cow feed. They're feeding me. Should I eat? Should I come here to eat these ones?" No. So we don't even feel like eating that. But here, Dhruva Maharaj, you can see, second month, every 6 days, eat grass, dry grass and leaves. And third month, only water once in 9 days. And fourth month, once in 12 days, is to take air. That's what he said. Breathing only on air. Similar austerity. It's a very, very austere. At the age of 5. Okay, then we see Prahalad Maharaj is also suggesting this kind of thing. So once you already saw the movie, isn't it? Mahāvātar, Prahalad, Narasimhadev. So there, Prahalad Maharaj was asked by his father, Hiranyakashipu, the first question he was asking. He was asking, "Could you tell me the best of all subjects you have studied from your spiritual master?" Or a teacher, not the spiritual master, teacher. But Prahalad is very intelligent. He had 2 kinds of teacher. One teacher was Shanda Amarka. They were in the Gurukul. They were sons of the Muni. And they were teaching him all this scripture. So he didn't quote those, whatever he learned from him. He didn't learn anything there from them. But he was quoting from Narada Muni. Narada Muni is also a teacher, because when he was with the mother's womb, Kayadu's womb, Narada Muni was preaching. So he remembered when Hiranyakashipu, his father, asked, "What did you learn from your teacher? The best thing you learned from teacher?" He remembered Narada Muni. And he said this sloka, "Tat sadhu manye asuravarya dehinam." That means the sadhus teach us, what the teachers is, for asura marya dehinam. You people have a asura varya. You're all asuras. They have asura. Sada samudvigna diyam asad grahat. That means you have, you always have, always anxiety, because you have embraced this, household activities, which is temporary. Asadgraha. Sada samudvigna dhyam asadgraha. That's why what it is like, hitvata papam patam gruhanda kupam. Hitvatma patam, atma patam. That means it is stuck in the gruha andakupam. That means where in the well where there is no water. It is something like you are in the water, in the well, there is no water. What is that? Accepting the asadgraha, these temporary household things. Then in the 4th line, he will explain the outcome, what we should do. He says, Vanam gato yad harim ashrayetam Vanam gato means go to vana and take Harir Ashra etan. Take the Ashraya of Hari. Here Srila Prabhupada beautifully explains. Vana means Vrindavan. He explains. Okay, so that's how we can see from our scriptures, there are a lot of instances where devotees left their wealth and go to the forest. And we can see even Hiranyakashipu also. Hiranyakashipu did the same thing. He did so much austerity with one leg, standing on one leg, and he used to control the breath. And then from his body, the energy, the hotness is coming out. It was burning the whole universe. Oh my God, he was doing that kind of austerities. So, but here also Pṛthu Mahārāja is doing the austerity. What is the difference? We'll see the difference. Here, Hiranyakashipu's case, let's take the Hiranyakashipu case. He did the austerity for material gain, material motive. He wanted to become Brahma. So, he did the austerity. That's a sense enjoyment. He wanted to control everything, every universe. So, and he didn't get any guidance. He didn't take any guidance. He was thinking he is the Lord. And he didn't get any guidance. Whereas you take a Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj also wanted a material gain. He wanted to become wealthier than Brahma. Okay, his grandfather. Want to become wealthier. So when he told to Narada Muni didn't think, you want to become greater than my father? He didn't say that. Hey, chup raho. He didn't say that. He said, okay, let me encourage him. Because he got this advice from Suniti, his mother. His mother is Shiksha Guru. So Dhruva Maharaj was not acting whimsically. He was guided by mother as a Shiksha Guru and Narada Muni as a Guru. He initiated him. He gave the mantra. And then he said, okay, now you can do whatever you want. You can get it from the Lord. That's what we see this shloka, no? Akama sarva kameva moksha kameva udarataha tivrena bhakti yogena ijaitam purusham param. That means even though you have a material desire, akama, sarva kama, all the desire, even to get a liberation, desire for liberation, what we need to do? Tivrena bhakti to the Lord Atokshaja or Purusham. So that's what Dhruva did, and then he realized his mistake, and then he was satisfied and he was attained perfection. But here, Hiranyakashipu was not like that. But here, what we are reading from Pṛthu Mahārāja is very auspicious and very authentic, and he didn't after sense gratification. He was after attaining the Supreme. And then we can see he's the Shaktivesh avatar. So even though Shaktivesh avatar, they did do all these tapasya, austerities, because they want to set an example for us. Even Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, he did everything just like a human being, and people think he's just a human being. No, but he did that because he wanted to set an example like a acharya. All right, now, so do we need to do this kind of austerity? That's the question. Okay, but we are reading now. Do we need to do this also? Prabhu, I'll read only water once in 4 days. No, we don't have to do this. Prabhupada also explained here. Those days where they were doing, this happened in a Satya Yuga. So it's in a different Yuga, and we cannot imitate this. So why did they do then? They did that because to maximize the devotional activity and minimize the bodily necessaries. Minimize that. And you can see mind is the center point for any yoga. So as it explained here, first line itself in the purport, Prabhupada says this is being explained in the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter. So where Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, Krishna is explaining the Ashtanga Yoga. There this kind of austerity is for yogis. And they want to control the mind. So, because mind is a central point for the meditation. And to control the mind, they have to control the senses. Mind is a root, senses are a root for the mind. So they have to control the senses. To control the senses, they are doing the austerity. So, but that is only for to satisfy the Lord. So, but why we are not following? Because Rupa Goswami didn't recommend this. Rupa Goswami given us the 5 limbs of bhakti. In that 5 limbs, he didn't mention do this like eating less or dry leaves or something. He didn't mention that. So this vairagya is not in an anga of bhakti as per Rupa Goswami. So he has given the 5 angas, that's sadhu sangha, association of devotees, nama kirtana, that's we are chanting, and bhagavata shravana, that's what we are doing, and Sri Murti seva, Sri Vigraha seva. So that's deity worship, and Mathura Vasa, or living in Vrindavan or Mathura. So now you can ask me, Prabhu, then we need to leave Vrindavan. So I'll tell you, just we'll discuss that. So it is that's what it is given. But here more prominence is given in this verse we'll talk about this verse. It is about eating the food. So here Pṛthu Maharaj, he was eating the food which is naturally available. He don't have to cook. He don't have to spend time there. And there is no salt or there's no spices. And then there's no spoon also. So sometimes people, they don't really, they won't touch the food. Oh. So he was not using a spoon. And then he was eating the raw vegetables. So because especially eating is mentioned here, and then gradually in the timeline, slowly he's reducing that also. So fruits, and then leaves, and then this gradually water, and then finally air. So because this is a process of austerity, in this way we can detach from the material body necessaries and control the senses, and to detach from senses and which is causing our bondage, material bondage. Okay, so we don't have to do all these things because that is not for this yuga. In this Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, what we need to do, we don't have to do those kind of activities. What we need to do, the vairagya, it is recommended is yukta vairagya. So there are 3 kinds of vairagya. That's one is markata vairagya. That's monkey vairagya. Monkey vairagya means even though monkey doesn't wear any clothes and doesn't have any property or any possession, but the monkey has got a very high sense gratification, highly sense gratified. And monkey has got like a dozen partners, So it's very, very, minded, sense pleasure minded. But even though it looks like he's a vairagi, but mentally having all the plans for sense gratification. That's called Markata Vairagya. So we should not become Markat Vairagya. It's a thinking in the mind, I can do this. No. So another Vairagya is Phalgu Vairagya. Phalgu Vairagya means even though something we can use it for higher purposes, we reject that. No, we don't want to do this. So that's Phalgu. That means unnecessary. Thinking in a wrong, false. Phalgu means false. False vairagya. But the recommended process is yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya means accepting everything and use that in the service of Krishna, not for sense gratification. Example, ChatGPT. How can we use ChatGPT? We can use it. So use it for searching slokas. So you can make this ChatGPT as Bhakti AI. And then you can use it for, if you tell ChatGPT use only Srila Prabhupada books, and Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead, and is a person. And tell me where this shloka is. It will find you. And it will say, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Have you tried? You tried? It say, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for asking. And then this is the words. And do you want the purport also? It will say, yeah, I want the purport. It will give the purport. Do you want to make a concise purport? So I found this link where AI can make a PowerPoint presentation. Then I got the mind. So for the Bhagavad Gita class, I was teaching the chapter 6 Bhagavad Gita. So what I did is I took essence of chapter 6 from ChatGPT. So it gave me all the essence. And then I put that essence into the slide converter. So if you give the outline for the slides, it creates the slides. So in 10 minutes, I got the slides for the class. So yeah, that's a Yukta Vairagya. I don't say I don't use it, but I use it for Krishna. Like similarly, Prabhupada says, he saw a very wealthy merchant, and then he was saying, the merchant was saying, Prabhupada, I don't want to work. Then Prabhupada says, yeah, we can work for you and then give all your wealth to us. No, we can maintain your factory. So Prabhupada always eager to get the money or wealth. Suppose somebody wants to give it, and he built big temples. So in this respect, it is this Yukta Vairagya is recommended by Rupa Goswami. He says, Anasaktasya Vishayam Yatarham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchate. This is the most topmost is Yukta Vairagya. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. And then Prapanchikatya Buddhaya Hari Sambandhi Vastutaha Mumukshabhi Parityago Vairagyam Palgu Katayate. That means Palgu Vairagya. He is describing the Palgu Vairagya. And he says, when one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accept everything and use it in the service of Krishna. That's called Yukta Vairagya. So in Bhakti, we need more attraction to Krishna by hearing and chanting and use Yukta Vairagya. So we don't have to we don't have to do this austerity. And what we need to do, Vaishnavas do fasting. Some days, like appearance days and festivals, we do fasting. It's a part of the bhakti process, and to please the Lord during the festival, you can see all 9 kind of devotional process will be happening in the temple or in the place where festival is there. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Padasevam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, everything will be there. So better we use our austerity in the kind of those kind of activities, and use Yukta Vairagya in engaging everything in the Krishna service. So, and then the austerity of eating. So Prabhupada also mentioned Rupa Goswami's verse. He says, Atyahara prayasascha prajalpa niyamagraha chanasangasya lolyam cha sabdir bhakti vinashyati. That means atyahara, that means atiyaraha, eating too much and collecting more funds than necessary is going to obstruct our bhakti process. And overeating, over-endeavoring more than necessary what we can achieve, or talking unnecessary, that's prajalpa, and neglecting rules and regulations, and then association with worldly minded people, and being greedy for mundane achievements. So in this respect, we see only the eating thing. That's overeating is bad. So Prabhupada always says, our Rupa Goswami always says, there are three things we need to control. That is BTG, back to Godhead, it's a back to Godhead. So we can use that for T for tongue, belly and genitals. So that's a BTG. So they're all in the same line. So we need to control these three things. It starts with eating. So controlling tongue is most important thing. So control the tongue. There are two things with the tongue. One is eating and then prajalpa, so unnecessary talking. So if we do these two things, then we can become dhira. So BTG. No. All right, so now we come to the point where do we need to stay in Vrindavan then? So you can see Vrindavan nowadays, it's converted into buildings everywhere, building. So I still remember when I went to Vrindavan first time, a few years ago, I can't even remember, maybe 20 years ago. So when I started coming to the temple from the Mathura, that place with the main road, it's whole completely forest. And then even to cross the road, the Vrindavan temple where our Krishna Balaram temple is there, to cross the road, there was nothing there. All peacocks used to jump here and there. And then we used to get frightened because nobody is there, something like that. Even Prabhupada was given this land for a temple. He was thinking, it's so far. Anyway, let's construct. But nowadays, what happened? That has become the center now. So, do we need to go to Vrindavan? So, what can you what can you do there? It's everywhere buildings. There's no vana. So, we don't need to go to forest in Kali Yuga. As Prabhupada was saying, cities are like a mode of passion. And living in a drink-hung house is a mode of ignorance. And living in temple is Vaikuntha. Okay. So, it's better to live in the temple. Then can we live in the temple? So, instead, we can make our house as a temple. And then do our services and just like a temple. So we don't need to go to Vrindavan, but we can stay wherever we are and preach the Krishna consciousness. So we don't have to imitate the Rupa Goswami or Pṛthu Maharaj. We need a sangha. We can't imitate them and go ourselves to some secluded place and do the sadhana. So we need a devotees association. And there was an incident where one of the devotee from Kenya, I think, he came to Prabhupada and he was insisting, Prabhupada, can you build me a separate kutir in Mayapur? I want to become like a Namacharya Haridas Thakur. I want to chant the whole time. Prabhupada said, no, you can't do this. It is very hard. But he was keep on insisting. So Prabhupada said, okay, no problem, get it. So he sent a letter to Mayapur temple, in charge, and then they constructed a separate hut for him. And then he started chanting the names of the Lord continuously. And then after some time, nobody could see him. And we don't know where he went. So that's why it is, it is recommended we have to have a devotees association. And then eat only Krishna prasadam. So when you come to the temple, we only eat prasadam. And hear Harinam Kirtan. And then, so let us not eat overly. And then it is recommended, Ayurveda, as per Ayurveda, it is recommended that 50% of your tummy need to be filled with food, and 25% water, and 25% air. But when we come to temple and we tell others also, eat to the neck. No. It's okay. Sometimes okay. No. Sometimes in festival we can't resist, Eat, that's okay. But not every day. Every day it's not that. So what do we need to do? Rishabhadev says to his sons, Nayam deho deha bhajanam ruloke kastan kaman arhate vidubujane tapo divyam putrakayena satyam Shuddhyat yasmat Brahma Saukyam tu Anantam. That means this material body is not for enjoyment. That enjoyment even is available to the stool-eating hogs, animals. Then what kind of enjoyment you are looking at? This is abominable enjoyment. Instead, what you need to do? Tapo-divyam putrakayana satyam. He's telling to his sons, Shrabadeva. My dear sons, do the tapo-divyam. That's what tapasya. Then with that, what happens? Shuddhyat yasmad Brahma Saukyam tu Anantam. You get the Brahma Saukya, which is Anantam, unending. That's what, everywhere we see. If you want to enjoy, give me the enjoyment which is cost-free, freely available. And then you should not be saturated with that. There is no saturation with that. Can you give me any enjoyment? Nobody can give that. Isn't it? Anything is free? Nothing is free. Even if they give free, they give some string attached. They get something out of you. Even, everything is like that. But can that be unlimited? No. So that means we have to figure out what is that which is unlimited. Drink. Mad. You become mad after that. That is what? Brahma Saukyam. Okay? So we don't lose anything, we actually gain. Atokshaja. Father Gopinath, mercy will gain. So that is the tapasya. We need to do that tapasya. So not going to the, not going to the forest. We need to do the tapasya, sitting at home, make our home as a temple, do Mangalarti every day. It need not be 4:30. At least we have to do Mangalarti, full program like Guru Puja, not starting from Mangalarti, and then do the Tulsi Arati, and then do the Japa, and then Guru Puja, and then Vaishnava Pranam, reading the 10 offenses, and Shikshastakam, everything, complete package we need to do. Suppose you don't have Tulsi, that's okay, do the Manas Puja. Manas can do that puja. So even Rupa Goswami suggested, he heard that Brahmana, he did the Manas Puja. So like that, you can do with the Manas Puja. So it is such an important one because Mangalarti is a prescription. If you follow the prescription, then we can stay in our bhakti. And even Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, 300,000 names he did it. He didn't go to Vrindavan. He did 300,000 names every day for 10 years to get the strength to preach. So in that way, we need to do our japa with the full attention, convert our home into temple, and become Grihastha Ashram. Ashram means where we take shelter of the Lord. And our home belongs to Radha Gopinath, and we are taking shelter of the Gopinath. Not become Gruhamedi in the opposite way. So, and then make our place as Vaikunta. Okay? So, and so one who engages in the sense gratification, they only have to perform the severe austerity. It is recommended in 6th chapter, 6th canto, I think. So according to the level of mistakes you have done, to that extent you need to do the severe austerity. We don't want to do that. So, because as a Krishna consciousness, naturally you developed, all these habits, and then you don't have to do extra endeavor. There is a verse, it says, Aradita yadi hari tapasa tatakim, na aradita yadi hari tapasa tatakim. Antarbahir yadi hari tapasa tatakim, na antarbahiri yadi tapasa tatakim. That means, if you are worshipping Krishna, then what is the need of tapasya? Aradita yadi hari tapasa tatakim. You don't have to do tapasya. You're already there. Suppose, na aradita yadi hari tapasa tatakim. That means you are not intention to please Krishna, then what is the use of doing the austerity? Hiranyakashipu. What is the use? There's no use. And antar bahir yadi hari tapasa tataktim. That means if you see Krishna everywhere, Krishna's hands everywhere, then you don't need to do the tapasya, because you know that you understand Krishna. But if you don't have the intention to see Krishna everywhere or his hands everywhere, what is the use of tapasya? That means no use of tapasya. It's not required. So that is the recommendation of the Shastras. So what we need to do? We need to do our sadhana and then stay in a Vaikuntha, converting our home into Vaikuntha and with the devotees association. So I just end with one more sloka where devotees association is so nice, important. So it says, Tulayama lavenapi na swargam na purbhavam bhagavat sangha sangasya mrutyana kim utasnaha. That means Tulayama lavenapi. If you take lavenapi, one moment association of devotees, compare it, Tulaya, make in the scale, if you compare it to the swargam, reaching to the heavenly planets, or liberation, or anything you can think of, it is not equivalent to that happiness you get with that. Association of pure devotee is the highest benediction. So, Tulayana lavenapi, only even a small moment of association is not equivalent to all these things. So, association is very important. So, I will end up here, but I'll do just to summarize the overall what we discussed, discussed today. So, we went through overview of Pṛthu Mahāraja's, with the 9 chapters. And then we see how example of, different devotees who took this, austerities. And then what we see, how intention of taking the austerity of Pṛthu Maharaj, it's not for sense gratification. And we saw type of vairagya, and then there are 3 kinds of vairagyas, and we need to be yukta vairagis. And we need to do sadhana and control our tongue, and tongue is the main thing, for the prasadam and then for the controlling the whole senses. And then convert our home into Vaikuntha. We don't have to leave to forest, so we stay in ashram, where grihastha ashram, make ashram as, house as ashram, and convert that into Vaikuntha by doing the harikatha, satatam kirtayanto mam, and then doing the mangalarti every day. And then, this is what the austerity. Follow the regulated principles, and then follow the, Ekadashi Vrata, and all these vratas. So, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, any questions or anything? Yeah, joy. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.